Welcome to Module 8 of BA149. We will be exploring the art of subtitling, an essential skill for translators who are working with audiovisual content. This will highlight the importance of subtitling in making content that is accessible to diverse audiences, including those who are deaf or hard of hearing, and those who speak different languages. Subtitling includes both closed captions and subtitles. Closed captions are designed for the deaf and hard of hearing community, and they include not only the dialogue but also sound effects and speaker identification. Subtitles, on the other hand, are for viewers who speak a different language. They translate spoken dialogue but do not include sound effects. And subtitles are typically located at the bottom of the screen to avoid obstructing the visual content. There are many tools available for creating subtitles. Some of the examples include .sub right here, a professional subtitling tool for creating and editing subtitles. YouTube Studio is a free, user-friendly platform for adding subtitles to your YouTube videos. And there are many other programs out there that you can research. These are constantly developing, so the choice you make on what program to use depends on how complex your project is and the budget you have for that. Each has their own features, their own workflow, but essentially, the principles of subtitling remain consistent across any platforms. So I encourage you to explore these tools and practice using them. Many of them offer a free trial for you to check them out, see if you like it. But for this class, we're going to be using the free YouTube Studio subtitling. There are some standard guidelines, and as always, you want to ask the client if they have an original subtitle template or whether they have a style guide. And these documents ensure consistency with the client's branding, their preferences, and their previous work. And if they do not have one, then we will create subtitles from scratch following these standard guidelines. Subtitles should be 2 lines long at most. Each line should have a maximum of 35 characters for a total of 70 characters. If you can imagine reading subtitles, watching a foreign film where you don't know the language, you don't want to be reading a long letter, you don't want to be reading an essay on the screen. You want to enjoy the movie and know what they're saying, so that's why we want to limit our characters to 2 lines and 35 characters maximum per line. So we're talking about breaking lines. How do you break lines? Breaking lines effectively improves readability, so you want to look for natural breaks in the dialogue, such as these text units. We're going to be talking more about those later on. But these also include commas, periods, question marks, exclamation points. You want to avoid breaking between conjunctions and but or prepositions such as of, to, so, etc. And sometimes words like of or to can stay on the second line for better readability. And the goal with this is to create subtitles that are easy to read and follow the rhythm of the speech. Here are some examples. Subtitle 1 is incorrect because since 1989 implies an ongoing action, but I moved is a completed action. So you could correct that to in 1989 I moved to the United States, and you may also be able to keep that in one line. Subtitle 2, break the sentence for better readability. John, I have always been a writer, add a comma there, but I love translation too. Subtitle 3, you can fix the punctuation and the spacing. You put Sandra, colon, not semicolon. Why did he leave, comma, or are they still searching for him? Or better yet, you can make these 2 questions if that sounds better. Subtitle 4, avoid breaking after importance, because the phrase would be the importance of. So it would be Jean and the importance of, next line, locking your doors. And here, subtitle 5 is correct because it follows the guidelines for the length and natural breaks. Subtitle 6, you may break the sentence for clarity. Big box stores are now, next line, targeting online shoppers. Number 7, you want to avoid breaking idiomatic expressions. You can correct it to Sandra, colon, there are always more things to buy, next line, and need to be vigilant about. speaker identifiers or speaker IDs. Speaker IDs clearly identify who is speaking. The industry standard is to use brackets for off-screen speakers, like in Gary or George in the example here. For on-screen speakers, because you can tell who is speaking, simply use their name followed by a colon, like Julia. And you want to avoid unnecessary formatting like bold, italics, and orange font, as seen here in Diane. You may have seen these used there, and these are used for certain purposes. A hyphen is used for compound words or short phrases. Hi, where have you been? Long dash, used for dialogue there, and also used for interruptions or emphasis. I'm doing well. Long dash, thanks for asking. Two dashes indicate interruption between speakers. You may imagine this conversation. Sandra says, I can't believe it. And Mary interrupts, how could I? So this tells the reader or the viewer that is reading that Mary interrupted this phrase right here, I can't believe. And an ellipsis shows hesitation and incomplete thoughts. For example, it's 4 o'clock. And the other speaker, how much longer should we wait? Well, if you're supposed to have one or two lines, the question becomes, where do you break the line? Here are some standard guidelines. Certain word combinations should never be broken between lines. These include articles and nouns. So the boy, bicycle. You want to keep these in the same line. An adjective and noun combination. The yellow dress, hairless dog. A pronoun and noun combination. Those students, their books. Compound nouns. New Year's Eve, Veterans Day. Proper names such as Jill Brown, Santa Ana, Dominican Republic. Idiomatic expressions such as a dime a dozen or bite the bullet. And also avoid splitting auxiliary verbs and action verbs, to be, to have, to do, etc. And these rules ensure that subtitles are easy to read and understand. For example, subtitle 1, Brian asked Judy out, next line, to dinner and a movie. And this is correctly demonstrating the rule of breaking lines at natural linguistic units, such as after a verb phrase, because the break occurs after out, which is a logical point to pause before introducing the next part of the sentence. Because you ask someone out, you don't ask someone out to dinner in this case. Number 2, she had been studying before the incident occurred Friday night. This demonstrates the break line after the verb phrase had been studying, which is a complete thought, before moving on to the next clause. And this maintains the integrity of the sentence structure and aids in readability. Number 3, Sandra, or goes sour, the milk is gone. This breaks the rule of not providing a clear line break. A more appropriate break would be or goes sour. Next line, the milk is gone, which separates the conditional clause from the main clause to enhance clarity. Number 4, I can't, I have to leave. This is demonstrating correctly the formatting because it has 2 complete sentences, which is ideal for maintaining clarity and readability. And number 5, Cassie, he is a co-worker of mine, and I'd never know it. This demonstrates the rule of breaking lines at the noun phrase, and the break occurs after mine, which is a natural pause before the conjunction and. This ensures that each part of the sentence is easily digestible. You want to make subtitles appealing. This means using natural language that reflects the speaker's tone and style. In this example, if you know this show, the character says, lawyers. You know, we're like health insurance. And this subtitle is appealing because it is concise, it is conversational, and it reflects the speaker's personality, and it uses a natural break for readability. And the pause created by the ellipsis and the line break adds a touch of humor. It reflects how Saul Goodman might actually speak. So if you're a fan of either one of the shows, Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, you can almost hear his voice when you read the subtitles. You translate on-screen text, translate important on-screen text such as signs, titles, to ensure that the viewers understand the context. and use an ellipsis to indicate when the speaker's dialogue is interrupted by on-screen text. Time coding is important in subtitling because time coding ensures subtitles sync with the video, and they use this format: HH, MM, SS, FF. So HH is hours, MM is minutes, SS is seconds, and FF is frames. In this example, you have 2 hours, 25 minutes, 32 seconds, and at frame 10. And this table shows how to work with subtitles. This is part of the homework you'll be working with. You have a subtitle number, you have the actual subtitle, and in this column you want to ensure that you have no more than 35 characters, including spaces, per line. And the way you do this is in Word, you highlight the text, go to Review, then Word Count, look for characters with spaces, and then you'll know how many characters per line there are. And Word has a dictate button, so you can dictate your text instead of typing it if you prefer. And when you activate that, you're going to get this window here that Word is listening. And it can transcribe the spoken word into Microsoft Word. And for homework 5, in this module, you're going to be creating subtitles for a YouTube video. You go to your YouTube channel, click on this button. Here you will drop the video you'll be creating. You'll write the title, a description of the video. In Video Elements, the next screen, you're going to click Add Subtitles, which will take you to this screen where you can add them manually, type them manually for our homework. This is to create titles from scratch. This is what you'll be doing for your assignment. But in other assignments, other videos, you can upload a file if you have it, or you can auto sync. This is using AI, and these are constantly evolving, so this may change in the future. And once you do that, you go to add a caption. You're going to type it here. This goes from timecode 000 from the beginning to 5 seconds, 4 frames. We don't have hours here because this is a 2-minute and 38-second video in this example. So from the beginning to 5 seconds and 4 frames, this is what you'll type. This is what will show up here. For the next segment, from 5 seconds, 4 frames to 7 seconds, 9 frames, this is the next thing. So you'll be typing those here and they will appear here. You can learn about keyboard shortcuts if you're into saving time, saving keystrokes. You play that, you listen, you type it in, and you go along. And there's a resource in the readings page on how to subtitle YouTube videos. And as we'll see later, YouTube can also auto-generate the subtitles, but they often need manual editing so they're accurate. After you do that, you confirm and click Next. When you save it, under Visibility, Save or Publish, you're going to save it as a private video where only you and people you choose can watch the video. Click on Share Privately, and then you share it with me with my email address that is in the instructions for the homework assignment. If you don't do that, I won't be able to see it, and I cannot give you a grade for this. After you are done, you can click here in the video you just created. You're going to click on Download, and you download an SRT file, and you're going to submit this as per the instructions in the homework. And here you can add subtitles in other languages. We're not going to do that for this assignment, but just know that you can do this and add multiple languages if you speak or can get multiple languages for your subtitles. And each language that you add is going to be an option for people to play. And you can have a video with multiple languages as subtitles, and people can choose which subtitles to read in your videos. This goes beyond our assignment. This goes beyond the homework, so don't worry about that now. But if you like, you can explore this and see how that works and how you can use this in the future. And that's it for this module. We talked about subtitles that makes content accessible to diverse audiences. There are some standards that we must follow for readability and for accuracy. And you are going to practice using these tools in YouTube Studio, for example, and Word for subtitling. And I encourage you to continue using and practicing with subtitles, subtitling tools, as this could be another service that you could offer as a translator. And as I've said before, the more skills you have, the more services you can provide, and the more money you can make in your chosen profession. Thank you and have a wonderful week.